A former US government official who worked for President George W. Bush says the government secretly spent years building an underground city where rich and powerful people can hide if a major disaster or near-extinction event happens. Her name is Catherine Austin Fitts, and she worked as the Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development from 1989 to 1990. She made these claims during an interview on Tucker Carlson's podcast. However, there is no solid proof that her claims are true. Fitts, who is now 74 and from Philadelphia, referred to research done by Mark Skidmore, an economist at Michigan State University. In 2017, he and his team released a report saying they found $21 trillion in unauthorized spending in the Departments of Defense and Housing and Urban Development for the years 1998 to 2015. Skidmore started looking into this after hearing Fitts talk about a government report that showed the Army had $6.5 trillion in unsupported spending adjustments in the year 2015 alone. The report said, given the Army's $122 billion budget, that meant unsupported adjustments were 54 times spending authorized by Congress. Typically, such adjustments in public budgets are only a small fraction of authorized spending. At first, Skidmore thought Fitts had made a mistake. He thought she meant $6.5 billion, not trillion. Mark Skidmore. So I found the report myself, and sure enough, it was $6.5 trillion, he said. Fitts, who also worked as an investment banker, believes that this missing money helped build what she calls an underground base city infrastructure and transportation system hidden from the public. Catherine Austin Fitts. One of the things I've looked at in the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built, she said. We have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and, supposedly, transportation systems. She told Tucker Carlson she spent 2 years trying to find out where the $21 trillion went. She and a team of researchers looked at all the data and all the allegations on underground bases to make an educated guess on how many secret locations exist. She said they found 170 possible underground facilities in the United States alone. She also claimed that some of them are not just underground, but under the ocean too. Catherine Austin Fitts. We systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess. This is totally a guess of how many underground bases there are, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them, she said. When Carlson asked her why these underground bases were built, she said they are meant to be used if a near-extinction event ever happens. But she also said the bases might be used for secret projects like a secret space program. Carlson replied by saying he once met a contractor who worked on one in Washington, D.C. The contractor told him about a transformer box on Constitution Avenue. He told me that was actually the exit, the egress from the White House, and I thought, that's kind of crazy in the middle of this big city where I live. You could build something like that without me knowing it. Carlson said he thought these bases were only in D.C. and were meant for something like a nuclear war. Fitts replied, some of it is. It's preparation for catastrophe. As for how these underground cities get power, Fitts said the government may be using advanced energy sources that the public doesn't know about. Catherine Austin Fitts said, I'm convinced that this energy exists. If you look at a lot of the really fast ships flying around the planet, they're not using classical electricity. Her claims come a few months after a company in Virginia called SAFE, Strategically Armored and Fortified Environments, announced plans to build a $300 million luxury bunker called AIRI. It will include AI-powered medical care, wellness programs, and combine luxury with protection in a new way. SAFE said each person who wants to enter must pay a $20 million membership fee. They plan to build these bunkers in all 50 states, starting in Virginia because it's close to Washington, D.C. A spokesperson for the company said, it's the wealthiest state per capita. It's ground zero for the finest demographic for something like this in the world.